for America's #1 funny man. What? Hey. Make some noise. Ladies and gentlemen, from LA to New York, Chicago to Mississippi, let's give it up for America's #1 funny man, Rodney.
What's up, party people? It's your boy Rodney Perry. This is you gotta be willing to know when you're stupid. And I'm stupid sometimes. So I start the show. You know, I play this little clip right here first. Followed by this clip. And in between that, I'm supposed to hit the button to go live. How about this? I don't hit the button at all. I'm sitting here looking at myself going, what's wrong? I tell you what's wrong, Rodney Perry. You stupid. So, hey, thank y'all for showing up as per usual. Welcome to the show. Candy Kitchen TV is in the building. Trina Pinkert. T. Gray is in the building. What is up, T. Gray, man? You're welcome to come in today. This is Wednesday. T. Gray is not available. T. Gray is not available. What's up, Sex Talk with T. Gray? Always willing to chop it up. What's just happening there in them streets? Alfreda. What up, Miss Frida? Trina Pink in the building. Sharon Rose May Davis. So yesterday, real quick. What's up, Shannon? Shannon will be with me tonight. The culmination of 5 weeks of improv will culminate tonight on my YouTube page. I'm excited. Never Deny Next Level. I'll upload the poster so you guys can take a look at it. It's tonight, 8 o'clock, right live on YouTube. Louis Johnson. Louis, how are you, man? Louis, you got to come in, man. You know what? I'm about to post a link. I'm sick of this shit. Post a goddamn link right here. Invite my friends in. You see it, come on in if you can. Janelle D. Thomas. Janelle says good morning. Miss Detroit is in the building. Good face too, Jay. Are good-looking people overrated? Are you a good-looking person? And it's okay if you regular. Some people got a regular face and they don't know it. I got some friends that swear they're attractive. I'm like, dude, your ass is not handsome. You're just not. It's okay. It's okay to be regular. And there's no disrespect. Some people are regular and don't know it. Your ass, how about this? If nobody ever double take at you. Never. Okay? Mama Miss is in the building. Granny Wowzers. Candy Kitchen TV. You know what I'm talking about too. Double take. Jackie. Again. Sharon. Again. I'm not being disrespectful. You may just be regular. You might just be like, okay, she cute, he cute. But people ain't going, God damn, whoa, to you. You regular faced it. My guest coming up later in the hour. I cannot wait to talk to this lady, man. I became aware of her on social media. Amanda from South Africa, Cape Town, is in the building. Amanda, please come in, sis. Please come in. The link is in there. You are on Facebook. The link is there as well. Janelle says no good-looking people are not overrated. Good DNA. It is what it is. You know what? The reason I asked the question. Shamar Moore, who I think is a great-looking guy. Women go out of their way to diss. I've seen people go out of their way to diss this young man. Jackie, Queen LJ, Thank you to the motherland. Thank you for Africa has been showing up for me. When I look at my analytics, I'm like, yo, when did I get love in Africa? But I was told when I was on Monique's show, Rodney Perry, you're big in Africa. You're big in the UK. Welcome to the show. My name is Rodney Perry. Granny Wilder says, I'm regular, but personality makes everything about me pop. You know what? Personality. Now, I know some good-looking people with horrible personalities. I will absolutely fess up to that. Uh-oh, stop right there. Stop right there. Miss Andromeda says, I've had several women comment that my looks help me in comedy. Most times, they look a certain way, though. Oh, Andromeda saying, ugly girl said, your ass is lucky that you cute. That's what she said. I'm going to read between the lines. Keith, when are you coming to South Africa, Rodney Perry? I don't know, Keith. I got to get down there, man. Thank you for popping in. Sharon says, don't forget to like, y'all. Don't forget to like. Stop right there. Cousins in the building. Cuz, you got to come on. You got to come on today, cuz. We got to talk about your smoke brand. We got to, man, you been coming every day. It's time to get you on the air. This man took care of me. When I was a little boy, I would go visit my cousins on the weekends, and this young man took care of me. And even to this day, if I'm in Chicago, he makes sure I'm good. Jackie, I was an ugly duckling, and it made me get smart. So are you implying that cute people may be a little not smart? Is that right, Jackie? That's what we doing this morning? My miss says, I had my older cousins say the same thing, Drama. Granny Wild, there's no way, Drama. You're amazing in comedy and looking fire doing it. Forget them jealous haters wishing they could be you. Oh, my God. Louis Johnson is in the building. Fabulous comedian. I got a few minutes grabbing my headphones. Get your goddamn headphones, Louis Johnson. 30 years in the game. Slanging these jokes a long time. Jay Walker. What up, Rodney? The legend. Great question. Are you a legend in said profession if you've just been doing it a long time? Let's get my co-host in for today. My running buddy. He's got the funky fresh fedora on. He flexing his muscles. I'm really sick of this guy. I'm going to say it. Why? Because he's a great human being. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My co-host for today, Mr. Hollywood Hopgood. He's graduated from the usual suspects. He's a co-host.
I'm trying to make it in the naps over everything. I'm trying to make it in the world.
Is that naps like sleep naps? Is that sleep naps or hair naps?
No, one of these hair naps. There's this comedian, I forgot his name, that runs with Jeff on stage, or what's the guy's name?
Kev on stage?
Kev on stage.
Yes.
Yeah, he opens up for Kev on stage.
Shouts out to Kev on stage. He got an NAACP Image Award. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So yeah, this is some of his merch. So I always try to.
Oh, that is probably the light-skinned gentleman with the freckles.
Well, light-skinned dude with freckles?
Yes. That is To Hear More. That is To Hear More. Thank you, Kansas City TV. That is To Hear More. Shouts out to Hear More. Thanks, Granny. I don't let it bother me. I just remember I could be miserable. Oh, God. She is so insane. Talk to me about this, Hopgood. The audience is chiming in today. Kev on stage from Detroit. We love him and congrats. Let me tell you something, Hopgood. Did you hear my regular face theory?
No. I need you to unpack it.
Here's the idea. The first question is, are beautiful people overrated? That was the first question.
I'm gonna say no, because you can get in the rooms with a beautiful face. It's what you do with it once you're there. So it's really a commodity.
Okay. Unpack that. You can get in the rooms with just your aesthetics alone can get you into certain rooms.
Absolutely.
Now, what about us with the regular faces? Are we just out of those rooms? We just don't get there? Or
No.
we gotta get there using other means.
Right. My favorite rapper in the whole planet, Jay-Z. Everyone has a level of a genius. You just got to find what it is.
Ooh, a level of genius. I like that. Unpack that. So, okay. So, beauty can get you in the room.
Intelligence will keep you there.
It may or may not keep you there.
Right. And people's definition of keep you there, I was there for 30 years. If you wasn't there for a lifetime, it didn't keep you there.
Now, one thing this is what I'll give you, Hopgood. I believe in it, especially when it comes to a man. Grooming counts.
Everything.
Grooming, like your grooming can supersede your good lookingness. If you're clean, ladies, chime in on this. If a man is clean, beard manicured, nails done, feet done, nice clothes, great haberdashery, guess what? People are going to pay attention to him.
And I can concur with that wholeheartedly because, again, me coming from a small town, 16 people in my graduating class.
Wow. Where you grow up in? A little house on the prairie?
Oh, no, that was a metropolis compared to my,
really?
my hometown.
Wow,
really?
How about that?
Boley, Oklahoma. So me going out into the world, I'm really grassrooted. So I had to really grasp on who I was and work that. I was always quick-witted. I was great on the dozens. So right. I would always be able to talk my way into things. And
why not get into comedy, or was that just not a thing for you?
I'm a good conversationalist, and I can tell some snappy ones, make some people laugh. But a comic is an architect, and it's another thing. It's of a different nature. Y'all guys are amazing.
Hold on, stop right there, Hopgood. Okay, Hopgood got a regular face. Rodney Perry has a regular face.
Absolutely.
And so does Lewis Johnson. Lewis, welcome to the show.
What's up, big brother?
Hey, man, Lewis Johnson. First of all, I've been knowing Lewis for over 20 plus years.
Lewis. He froze, but he cocking that hat.
Oh,
yeah. God dang it, Lewis. Let's see if we can get your Wi-Fi together, Lewis, and I'll bring you back on, man. Once I see you moving, you still froze, man. But shouts out to Lewis Johnson, man. A fabulous comedian, been killing the game so many years. That's why I asked him to pop in this morning, and he did. Mama Miss says, this is true. A well-kept man, good spirit. 7 can give a 9 and run. 7.
Yeah.
9. Can a 7 give 9 a run?
Yes. Yes.
Now, your lady is gorgeous. She's a 9.5, 10. What you doing with her?
I'm Charles Hopgood.
I love it. Confidence is everything.
Absolutely.
Confidence is everything. You're a member of a fraternity, man. Did the fraternity make you, or did you make the fraternity?
It's always not what the fraternity can do for you. It's what you can do for the fraternity. Respectfully.
No. The reason I asked that question, because I saw guys that pledged and
Kappa.
arrived. They arrived. Not necessarily Kappas. They was Omegas. They was Alphas. They was Sigmas. Okay. I seen guys pledge and arrive, and that was okay. They were kind of, maybe like the young lady said earlier, maybe they were ugly ducklings, but they found their way through the fraternity.
So let me tell you how Beta Kappa mother chapter in Oklahoma City, first chapter in Oklahoma, how they did it back then. You had to have something. You had to have grades. You
couldn't even get in. They have it.
They wasn't gonna pick you. You had to have something. Every one of us from back in the day. Now anybody. But from the old guys from the 80s and 90s at Langston University, when you see them now, they the guys. They the guys in every aspect of what they do.
Wow.
The guy that owns Icy Bench Center, Pratt.
Yeah. I know he's alpha because he and I have talked before, so I know exactly who you're talking about.
And every one of them has a certain je ne sais quoi. It's a certain quality.
Wait, stop. Hold on. Stop right there. Stop right there.
What
What you're not gonna do is say je ne sais quoi without me.
My bit alone gets me
credit.
Thank you for that compliment.
Candy Kisses TV says, "How good?" Said my beard alone to get me in the room. The ladies are loving How Good this morning. Hold on, stop right there. It's the hats for me, she said. The gospel and heifers. That's two comments.
GH
Shouts out to Lewis. Lewis said, "No worries, big brother. He's on the set. He's out at sea." Oh yeah. You could have told me. I knew it wouldn't work. He's headed to San Juan. Lewis Johnson is doing his thug thizzle. Jackie, I'm a sapiosexual. Sapiosexual. She's looking at your brains. She's looking at them, and that makes a man sexy to me. Yeah. But I beg to differ, Jackie. Okay, what you're not doing is seeing a man walk in the room and go, "Ooh, look at his brains." No, you ain't. You saying, "Oh, I see that print." You saying, "Ooh, nice legs, nice arms. Ooh, he cute." You ain't saying nothing about his damn sapio-ness.
And you're correct. We are, and when you look at the women, like, "Ooh, look at her," like you said. But it goes back to what you said, Rodney. Beauty or whatever it is, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But beauty will get you in the door. What will keep you there is the accessories, the intangibles. Like my beard.
I like that. Thomas Ward, if you can come in for a second, man. Okay. How about this, man? When looking at a woman, and I believe what guys think is attractive is geographical. Okay, you from the middle of the country, like I think dudes from Texas, born and raised, are more likely to date a white woman. You ain't got to say nothing. I know you down there with them, so you can't. You sometimes. Anyway.
Oh no! Come on now.
I know it. I got 2 or 3 friends that live in Texas, and they love white women. And you like who likes you. I'm not mad at that. Okay, let's talk geography. If you're a guy from Chicago, don't get me wrong. We like pretty girls, but she don't have to be pretty. If she got a big fat booty and some banging breasts, guess what?
We're wrong with
she can look like a damn wildebeest.
Chewbacca.
If you from California, you cannot have no booty, no titties. Excuse my language, ladies. But guess what? You must have a beautiful face.
Or be light skinned.
I'm not going to get into the colorization of it, the whole thing. What else? The Midwest, the East Coast. East Coast is similar to like the Midwest, but you need a face and or breast or booty, and or you can they'll take you with one or the other.
No lies.
Janelle says yes. We watch for prints. Oh God. Face, lips, smile, skin, hands, shoes, clothes, wingspan. On his back, broad shoulders, height, all of it. I've had women disqualify me on height. I've had it. I've seen it. I'm 5 feet 7 inches tall. They're like, "Ooh, I don't mess with short dude." I dated a girl. She was 6'2". How good?
Oh,
flat-footed 6'2". I met her seated. She was sitting down on the car. I'm college age. I go up to her, confident, talking, spitting my game. She not tripping that we eye to eye while she seated. We exchange numbers. The next time we see each other, almost 2.5 weeks later, guess what?
What?
She's like, "You fucking short." I said, "Yes, I am." She said, "But I like you." I said, "I know. If you talk to me for 2 weeks, you're going to like me."
How long did you ride that ride?
Unless, of course, you're my wife. I get on her nerves.
How long did you ride that ride?
2.5 years.
Oh.
I would have married her.
Oh, wow.
I would have married her if we weren't on parallel paths that would never cross.
So you would have been the original Cole and Big Shirley, respectfully.
First of all, what you're not going to do, call my lady Big Shirley. Granny Wilder says, I can't stand California standards. They like booty here and boobs here. They don't care if they're real or not either. Let me tell you something, ladies.
I do.
You ain't getting no BBL. I don't believe no man gives a damn about no fake boobs unless they just crazy hard.
I do.
I like sexy. I'll take sexy over an overly attractive woman.
Exactly. A confident sexy. Yes.
No. She don't have to be confident. She just got, sexy is confident. You know what I mean? You agree?
I agree. Totally.
Jackie also, Janelle, you have to admit, a witty man that makes you laugh, things that don't give me. I'm I am comedy. Sometimes your ass could be witty in the wrong situation. BBLs are hard too, says Thomas Ward. Nothing fake over here. Way to go, Trina. Let me tell you something.
I need to go look at her pictures.
For Trina fine as hell, first of all. And you need to not look. Let me help you, new married dude. Let me tell you something. Hop good. You got me worried over here. Anyway, let me tell y'all something. I've been married 26 years. Ask me how you stay married. Hop good. Ask me that.
How do you stay married, Rodney Perry?
I can find something wrong with anybody. I don't care how beautiful she is, how gorgeous she is. In my mind, I'm saying to myself, I bet the bitch got bad feet. That's what I say to myself. That's how I keep it going.
Shout out to Rodney Perry's inner voice. He's undefeated.
I don't know if I'm undefeated. no overstating the facts. All right. Andromeda says you're going to get the body I got and like it. Well, Andromeda, you fucking 88 pounds soaking wet with rocks in your body.
Yeah, and 3 foot high. She trying to be Suge Knight.
Rodney, are you a height chaser? No, I'm not. I'm not a height chaser, but I don't, I take certain things as a challenge. When I know, I'll be like, okay, you think you don't mess with little guys, huh? Well, guess what? I'll break you off like improper fraction.
And what women need to understand, some of those things that we do, everything in life is a lyrical or a mental exercise. In order for us to keep sharp before our intellect, especially you being a comedian and being an actor, you have to digest things in life and make it and lyrically and mentally exercise and stay sharp.
Yeah, very true. Thomas Ward. Thomas says, I knock them tall women down. He said he loved to climb trees.
Timber.
He loves to climb. I'm Mrs. in the building. Thank you for coming in today. Cosman Heifers, thank you for coming in today. Janelle D. Thomas, thank you for coming in today. Thank you, everybody hitting us from the motherland. Hop good. Motherland is in the building today. Let's get to some of these hot topics, man. We just pontificating for the last 14 minutes. Goodness gracious. All right, here we go. I just saw this story. Let me get to the top.
Yeah, I was looking at some too.
Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Candy Burris, MC Light, Marseille Martin honored at the BET Her Awards in Atlanta. Shouts out to Kim Whitley, who was there. It looks like a great night. You know who Marseille Martin is? That's the young girl from Blackish.
Oh, she's dope. She's a multimillionaire and she owns companies and all that. She's dope.
Dog, this little girl has grew up so fast, man. It's like, I feel like one of my kids. Like, he was just 5 years old.
Yeah, she also did the movie with Regina Hall.
Yes, she had to grow up. Yes. Lorenz Tate LaRon Tate emphasized the power of brotherhood, man. You can. Are you a sibling? Hopgood, you have siblings?
Yes, I have. My father has two other boys. The funny thing about it is, I had to live in the shadow of my younger brother for a minute because
What you mean?
Because he's a basketball phenom. He's 6'9.5", won 3 state balls in Oklahoma, and went to play for Denny Crum, and then went overseas. So he got 3 high school titles. He got 2 college, and he got 3 overseas. And
Wow,
he was cold. I mean, now his son is
So did y'all grow up in the house together, or no y'all didn't? So you grew up as an only child?
No, I got other siblings and my mother's children.
On your mom's side, okay.
Yeah, so every time I say my name, Charles Hopgood, and I'm the oldest. Oh, you Brian Hopgood's brother. You didn't relate to Brian Hopgood? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's my. Oh, that's your big brother. No, I'm the oldest.
Right.
You know, for years.
Right. Let's talk about birth order, man, because people don't really talk about that. There's a responsibility to being a number one.
Boy, it's unsung, man. Like with my dad, I don't have the ability to mess up hard. I can't. Because my dad was such a solid ass dude. Shout out to Bobo Senior.
And you get a different version of your parents. Like as a number one, you get the parents just kind of figuring it out. By the time they get to your baby brother, it's like y'all let them get away with murder. You be like, I just know more now.
The thing with my pop, because he had to drop out of school in the 5th grade to take care of his brothers and sisters, because my grandfather was kind of a rolling stone.
Your pop was one of them guys that walked to school uphill both ways.
Yeah, and he went to the military, and he keep $22 a month for himself and sent the rest home to my grandmother to help take care of his siblings.
Wow.
My dad had a 5th grade education, so he didn't get to be a kid. So there was some hard 13 and a halves to walk in. So
let's talk to him. If you're a number one, chime in. If you're a baby, or if you're a middle child, you know. Hold on. Let me see. Hello. Hey. I'm gonna call you. I'm on my show right now. Okay. Look at your text. All right. That's my man. Hold on. Am I? Why didn't it? Okay, that's why I didn't do that. Let me see. My man, Griff. He didn't send it yet. Okay.
Everybody got a friend named Griff.
Everybody got a friend named Griff.
I got 2 friends named Griff. Boy, I got another hot topic right here. Ooh-wee.
Pick up the phone, punk. All right. But what was I talking about? Okay. Sex talk with T Gray. T Gray says I'm the oldest of 5. I'm the oldest of 5 as well. And how about this? If you marry somebody or get with somebody that's something other than your oldest, like that's a conflict point. Like my wife is a middle child, but she operates like the oldest. Like her number one don't embrace being a number one, so that kind of slides down. Am I right? What you think?
Well, because like let's say for instance, if you're the eldest and your mom expects you to do some stuff, and your wife maybe being the baby, she don't understand the responsibility that you have, and that could cause a conflict, especially if their family is not knitted the way yours is.
Mm-hmm.
So it could really cause a conflict, when a lot.
But I don't know if it's the fabric of the family. I think just if you're number one and you marry a baby, that's a good mix. Somebody that was the baby, because you're gonna take care of them.
Right, but the baby sometimes might have a problem with you telling them something. They've been told stuff their whole life.
Facts of life, and they push back on that sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Kansas TV. I'm the youngest, but I didn't get away with nothing. My brother swears I did. You did.
You did.
You did. As a number one, to anybody that's a middle or a baby, guess what? Your parents weren't the same parents. So you didn't get away with stuff on them. They just didn't approach you the same way.
She turned state's evidence on her brother and sister one time or another.
For sure. Kansas TV says, my mom is the middle child and swears she's the supervisor of all things and everything. But again, sometimes that middle could have to operate as the eldest.
Or
Sometimes that middle, because if your elders don't take that or get on crack or some shit, then you might be stuck trying to figure it out and have to guide the family, have to be the oldest kid.
Absolutely.
Wow, this is a great conversation. Hey y'all, my name is Rodney Perry. You're tuning in to Rodney Perry Live. Let me do this, man. I got to bring in. First of all, if you haven't had a chance to check out my show, I got a show on what is it called?
Tubi.
Tubi. Thank you, Hopgood. That's some co-host shit right there. You came through. You grabbed the word out of my brain in the air. Trina Picker said, she's the oldest. Okay, beautiful. Okay, Sharon, Rosemary, I'm number 4 of 6. So you kind of a double middle. So you got 2 in the middle, right? You got a baby. You got, I couldn't even have to share the middle. Oh, goodness gracious. She didn't get no middle. You just a weird little 4th child. The youngest gets away with a lot. Come on, guys.
A whole lot.
Right. Here he goes. It's on Tubi right now. It's called Comedy Hustle. Check it out.
Yo, what's up? It's Roy Wood Jr. You are rocking with the homie Jay Davis, and this is the Creative Hustle.
On Tubi right now. It's called Creative Hustle. I am the host of that show, and I am also one of the executive producers. Shouts out to Jay Davis and our other partners as well. Just great guys, man, out of Chicago, and they had a mind to do this, and they brought me in on it, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Rodney is booked and busy, everybody. He's got a show coming up with the incredible and incomparable Monique, nephew Tommy, coming out to in Dallas.
You ain't said nothing.
Coming up.
You ain't who you talking about?
This one.
You want to see? You want to see that show right there?
Is that what you want to see? Do you really want to touch it, folks?
My girl Monique, nephew Tommy. He just shouted us out on the radio yesterday. Rodney Perry, Dominique, Keir Spades. Man, this dude is knocked down funny. How good?
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Dominique, Rodney Perry. Wow, it's going to be an incredible night. April Fool's Day, and we will
pull up.
We will be some April Fools. My guest coming on in a few minutes, man. I think you're gonna love this lady Hopgood. Just a really. Her name is Dr. Shante. I want to show the video that made me go, I need to follow this lady.
I like it. And
when I saw the video, Hop. You know, matter of fact, I wonder what her birth order is, because she's probably an oldest. She's probably an oldest. As that video gets ready to load up, Kansas TV, that's definitely gonna be dope. Candid, and you know what? Shout out to my friends. Michelle C. She said, Rodney, you need to advertise Comedy Hustle more. It's a great show.
That's what's up.
Granny Wallace says, as the oldest, I was the caretaker of all my siblings when I got married, separated us, and caused a divide. What we do, my siblings, you know, so we lost our mom 5 years ago. And, you know, we make it a point, even if it's on social media, even if it's like using StreamYard or Zoom, those platforms, we get together on there and we talk and tell stories and laugh and stuff like that. So that's one of the things. Like I'll be in Dallas. My sister lives in Louisville, so I'll be hanging with her this weekend, even though she's leaving on Saturday. I'm like, wow.
And you supposed to hit me up so me and one act can take you to Papa Do's.
I'm on the ground Thursday evening. Let's get together Thursday evening. You know, maybe grab a little bite to eat. Maybe go smoke a cigar.
I'm with it. Oh, Cigar International be popping.
Huh?
You'll love that. You'll love Cigar International.
All right. I like black owned. Is it black owned?
I don't know if it's black owned, but we take it over. I mean,
it ain't. That's all. Enough said. I'm there. I want a good smoke too, and I haven't been smoking, so this is good. No cigar for me, says Andromeda. Let me tell you something. Andromeda will train you.
we'll give you a bubblegum cigar. How's that?
No, I'm not doing that. All right. So she'll be on at 50 minutes after the hour. Her name is Dr. Shante. Check her out.
I'm going to try to tell the shortest version of this story possible. Years ago, there was a famous mathematician. His name was Yuri Treisman, taught at UC Berkeley. And in his class, his Asian students were doing amazing and his black students were flaming out of that class. And so this bothered him. He asked his colleagues, why are they flaming out? And his colleagues gave him a bunch of answers like, well, maybe they came from unprepared schools and, maybe they just don't understand the rigor. And he was like, nah, you can't get into this school without having like the academic chops, like something is up. So he asked his black students, he said, can I observe you for the next couple of weeks and just see how you're engaging with this material? And what did he find? He found that the black students were actually studying more than the Asian students. But the key was they were studying alone. And the Asian students were studying in community. Fast forward, he made it mandatory that everybody would learn in groups and have learning communities. And within a couple of semesters, the black students were doing equally as well as the Asian students. What's my point? Stop trying to do everything by yourself. Stop struggling in isolation. Stop pushing help away. Stop feeling like I don't need anybody. Like, no, okay? Life is hard. And you can only take yourself so far. Self-made is never entirely self-made. Somebody had somebody somewhere give them a hand, an aid, a chance, something. So stop trying to do everything yourself and see how far you get this year.
How about that?
Man, she's cold.
She's cold, man. Dr. Shante will be on in 10, 13 minutes. Cannot wait to chop it up with her today. But that video really resonated with me because, how about this, Hop? I'm guilty of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why I'm sitting there, too.
Doing a lot by myself.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very difficult for me to take help. Whether it's, from family, like Candy came and helped me, and, my sister Sherelle helped me, Charlie Coleman helps me, but it's hard for me to take it, to receive it. Is anybody like me? Is it hard for you to receive help, man? Are you guilty of that, Hop?
Compliments too.
Really? Talk to me about that. What do you mean?
Because, man, I've had the stigmatism pushed in my ear. A lot of people, we go through trauma and we don't realize it's trauma until we start unpacking and understand how smart we are. We understand our limits and our triggers. Being called and picked on, because like I said, remember I always laugh about my nose, my big nose. I was picked on a lot. I stood in my 8th grade yearbook. Some of the chicks was trying to holler me in my adult life, wrote mugged in my yearbook. So I've always thought that I wasn't, I always had it drilled in my head. So when someone tells me, oh, you're put together, you're handsome, I'm bashful with that. Or I'm like,
That's trauma. That's trauma.
Yeah,
and you know what? And we all have that stuff. Sex Talk with T. Gray says, think about how it applies to how we grow in comedy. You know what? I got a direct story for that, T. Gray, and I'm glad you said that. Like, somebody said, why you don't tell me when you got shows? Because when I was a Rudy Poot and I would tell people to come to my shows, they never came. Like, I saw a young lady at a show. I did a workout on Monday, and her best friend was there. Her friend was there. And I was like, wow, I was 10 years into comedy for my friend came to see me. That wasn't a comedian.
Wow.
Or like some of my first cousins, my cousins that's like my brothers, they would not come see me. I still, to this day, 30 years in, got some uncles that, man, I ain't going that shit.
Yeah, but I see him at family reunion.
It is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
But that has affected me inviting people out now. I'm like, your ass need to buy a ticket.
And man, and it's hard because really you're moving in such you're moving and you're trying to perpetuate, and you don't want to unpack that because you're afraid of what it'll do to you, and plus you got other stuff to worry about.
Yeah. Build your team. Build your team. There are people that want to help you. Candy Kids TV, I typically work by myself because no one offers help. They might not offer. You might have to ask. Wow. Let's talk to Jackie. I brought my Uber driver to a show once because I needed 5 people. Oh, I never subscribed to the Bringer shows. Oh, I hate it. I hate them. Oh, they big up in the Great Hopgood. Okay. Mama Miss says, I'm guilty too, but it definitely comes to how I was raised. I was considered smart and expected to be perfect.
Wow. Now that's one that's hard to unpack. Think about that, Rodney. Somebody earmarked you. Classic example, Jordan's son. Everybody thought the Jordan's kids was going to be able to play hoop.
Right.
You imagine having to unpack that?
Michael Jordan, your daddy?
And
Michael Jordan ain't doing nothing else. He ain't showing you how to cut no grass.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, Michael Jordan probably didn't even show you how to drive. Michael Jordan may not know how to drive. Because people been driving around.
He showed Marcus a thing or two. Shout out to Marcus Jordan.
Wow. Alfreda Jackson says, my mother is a Virgo. She is a true giver like Rodney Perry. I am a true giver. That is a fact.
Shout out to Alfreda's mother.
Shout out to Alfreda's mommy. Shouts out to everybody's mother, man. If you still have your mother, call your mother today. Indeed. Call your mother today. Honor her. And if not her, somebody else's mama.
Indeed.
You know, one thing since my mom passed away, I find myself gravitating to other people's mamas. Yeah. Gosman Heifers, this is true. We are producing our own show for years, and you guys have help built in, but you may need you guys maybe need an intern just to help. Candy Kids TV says 3 of my good friends came to my first show. I was so grateful because I was nervous AF.
That's good though.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's amazing. That's a great thing.
Amazing. Hey, what's your biggest leap? Your biggest from point A to point B? Like, what's like? Maybe I'm not saying this right, but like your biggest growth spurt as a man, from what age to what age? Like or what time? Like a time in your life? Like I know a time in my life I grew exponentially over that couple of week period or a couple of month period.
Man, leaving Langston.
So you're college age.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're about to go into manhood. You're about to go. You're not gonna be in school no more. And over that summer, you grew exponentially.
I joined the military. I left school because I couldn't pay for it no more.
Oh wow!
And then I decided to, and this is right after Gulf War. And I
don't know if I knew you were a vet, man.
Yeah, 8 years. Thank you for your service too, Rodney.
I did 8 years. I did exactly 8 years.
And I looked up and I looked in the mirror. I said, okay, I can't come up with this money for school no more. I can't DJ and make enough money to pay for school. I'm getting bored with this, but I don't want to be a bum. So I decided to join the military. And that was one of the best things I could have ever done for myself. I've only done 4 things in my 53 years on the planet: a student, military, and the automotive industry, and what I do now.
Wow. So
I thank God for placing it on my heart to do that. So it was the moment I left Langston and joined the military, I really evolved into a man.
Now, did you walk into a recruiting office, or did you meet a guy, or like how did it happen? How did you decide to finally? Of course, you took the ASVAB test. You knew about it, but like what happened? Like how did you join the military?
I picked up the phone and called the Air Force first.
Okay.
The recruiter didn't call me back. I called him 3 times.
Get out of here.
Right. So then I thought about it. I said, well, my daddy was in the Army. You know what? I'm doing stuff like him anyway. I'm going to call. So I called this recruiter, and he was just getting ready to go to lunch. He said, I'm getting ready to go to lunch. And I said, man, I need you to help me. And wow. He says, okay. So I initially went in as a reservist, and then got out, was out 2 months and went back to active duty. I said, nah, I can't be out here with y'all. Y'all doing too much. And went right back in.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. So here's my story. I get out of high school. I go to Chicago. I know I want to be a comedian, but I do not know how to do it. I don't know. Like, I don't know nothing about. You got to think this early 90s, late 80s. I don't know the process. I don't know to go to open mics and that. I don't know nothing about that, but I know I want to be a comedian. So after a couple of weeks in Chicago, my grandmother and my uncle and them started going, you grown, you need to get a job.
You got that get out the house conversation.
It ain't to get out the house, it's to what is you gonna do?
What is you gonna do?
I go back to Louisiana because my mama gonna give me at least a year. You know, my mama got me back.
God rest her soul.
God rest her soul. So I go back home. I take a job. I start working at Walmart. I open a Walmart store, 1193. Laid the carpet and everything in that mug.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Worked at Walmart. I left Walmart. I get Walmart. I get another job at a place called Shoe Town. If anybody ever sold shoes, I was out
shoe bar.
I was out Bundy. Okay. I was slinging shoes, dog. And you know the secret to slinging shoes ain't the shoes, it's the socks. It's all the other shit you sell. Like, you know, a pair of shoestrings, you get a nigga to buy some shoestrings, they consider you a great salesman. But anyway.
Damn, I
sell shoes for a period of time. I'm going to my job at the shoe store in Monroe, Louisiana. I'm walking, it's hot. I got 5 miles. No, that's a lot. I got maybe 2.5, 3 miles in front of me. I'm walking. Recruiter pull up. It's hot. I'm already sweating. I ain't even a block in. He said, hey, brother, can I give you a ride? Where you headed? I said, well, I'm headed to work. And I'm thinking to myself, this nigga might be gay.
Come on.
No disrespect, but I'm handsome. You know, I'm a good looking guy. So I'm like, this nigga trying to holler at me.
Right, he said he might be Eddie Murphy. Go ahead.
But first of all, what you're not gonna do? What's up, Solo? What you're not gonna do is talk about Eddie Murphy. Anyway, I'm walking to work, and the recruiter stops. He gives me a ride. He's in uniform. He's in a white vehicle, and on that short trip, 2 or 3 minutes, he pitched me. You know,
that's cold.
He pitched me on the trip. He's like, look, man. He said, man, why you not in school? I was like, I'm actually going back, next month, blah, 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 da, da, da. He said, man, I can get you money for school. And he pried, and I got a daughter on the way. He said, you got to do what I'm offering you. You have to, because you're going to be able to take care of that little girl. And sure enough, nigga, Hopgood, no bullshit. 2 weeks later, I'm in San Diego in boot camp.
Wow.
Or less.
You went quicker than I did.
Yeah, I had no delayed entry. I was gone. They didn't lie to me. They didn't have to lie to me. I was up out of there.
Time of your life too, wasn't it?
You know what? I was in peak shape. Like I look at myself now. Let me tell you something. I'm good. Young Rodney Perry. Like, I see little fat comics now, and they young and fat.
Yeah,
I was a specimen.
Our era was never young and fat. That's what I never. The 50 years old, the 50 that's walking around now.
You're right, Coco Fresh. I took that little gay ride. I did. I did. That's why I say I'm never gay. Because if he would have been gay, he still wouldn't get no ass. He wasn't getting no ass. I'm sorry, how good I cut you off. What'd you say?
Man, if you look at the people that were 50, that are 50 years old now, the people like you and I in our era, we were specimens, and we ate pizza, and we did what we did. We would just the food now that they're serving. I think it's in the food now, right? Because we ate horrible, and we still had 6 packs.
Dude, I was a specimen. Oh, young Rodney Perry, man. That nigga was something else. But let's talk about this before we bring the doc in. Doc will be here in any minute. How many times were you in potentially life-threatening situations? And this is for everybody listening right now. Fresh Tarot, Galen, Andromeda. Like, I have been in life-threatening.
13.
13 years old? 13 different times? Really? That's a lot, Hopgood. Are you secretly a drug dealer or something? Are you a
No. Honestly,
contract
Rodney.
killer?
Honestly, not Rodney. My mama was.
No. Okay.
And yeah, and I grew up as basically her crime partner. I couldn't play sports coming up in school, and I used to go to school with a backpack with either a brick, a dope, and some money, and I used to walk the backpack, taking school every other day in case they kicked the door in. She let me join the band because I could hide dope in my instrument case. Shout out to Mr. Pendleton.
Out of here.
Eisenhower Middle School, Oklahoma City. So
13 different times. How good?
Right. There was one time where
Tell me the story of one. Give me one.
my mom was in California, out of town. Me and my cousin were talking about this the other day. My sister was 18. My older sister was 18 years old. I got another cousin who's about the same age as her, and then my other sister is 5 years older than me and my big cousin. There was a guy there that my mama would leave to take care of us when she would go get packages. She had to go out of town. Well, according another dude that was a rival with my mother got infiltrated this dude. This dude spent the day to come over and kill us. And my sister come through the door, kicked the door open. 18 years old with a shot with a 12 gauge, cock, and had it on him. And they came over to kill us, to do something to us. And then after that, she called my older brother, who's a twin.
How did y'all get out of it? What caused it not to happen?
Because they drew down on him, and they know my mom was Esther Jean. I'm not making this up. They knew after they had to drop on him. My mom was Esther Jean. My mom stood 6'3", Rodney. She was in the streets.
Hey y'all, my name is Rodney Perry. You're tuned in to Rodney Perry Live. My co today, Charles Hopgood. The question on the floor is, how many life-threatening moments have you had in your life?
Man, wow. Yeah, it was rough.
Hey, I said it earlier, and I'm gonna say it again. I became aware of this young lady on social media, and I saw this particular video, and I was like, I'm a fan. Ladies and gentlemen, she'll be on any second, but let's have another look at Dr. Shante.
I'm going to try to tell the shortest version of this story possible. Years ago, there was a famous mathematician. His name was Yuri Treisman, taught at UC Berkeley. And in his class, his Asian students were doing amazing and his black students were flaming out of that class. And so this bothered him. He asked his colleagues, why are they flaming out? And his colleagues gave him a bunch of answers like, well, maybe they came from unprepared schools and, maybe they just don't understand the rigor. And he was like, nah, you can't get into this school without having like the academic chops, like something is up. So he asked his black students, he said, can I observe you for the next couple of weeks and just see how you're engaging with this material? And what did he find? He found that the black students were actually studying more than the Asian students. But the key was they were studying alone. And the Asian students were studying in community. Fast forward, he made it mandatory that everybody would learn in groups and have learning communities. And within a couple of semesters, the black students were doing equally as well as the Asian students. What's my point? Stop trying to do everything by yourself. Stop struggling in isolation. Stop pushing help away. Stop feeling like I don't need anybody. Like, no, okay? Life is hard. And you can only take yourself so far. Self-made is never entirely self-made. Somebody had somebody somewhere give them a hand, an aid, a chance, something. So stop trying to do everything yourself and see how far you get this year.
How about that? Hey, y'all, my name is Rodney Perry. You're tuned in to Rodney Perry Live. Welcome to the show. I didn't know this when I first had the conversation with this young lady. She is from Chicago, Illinois. She feels like Chicago to me. There was a certain familiarity of Chicago people. First of all, we everywhere. How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Dr. Shante. Welcome, Doc.
Hey, Rodney. Thank you for having me. Chi-Town is in the building.
In the building. Hey, and I saw you and your husband stepping. I don't know if it's your husband or not, but I saw y'all stepping, on your page. I was like, get it then.
I'm not married. That's how social dancing is. It's like, it's not about, hey, girl, how you doing? It's like, you want to dance? Let's dance. And so we got down and did the doggone thing.
Yo, first of all, Doc, thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, I saw that video, and I was telling Hopgood earlier, I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of doing it all. I got this. And not even asking for help. Doc, as we especially black men, as we navigate this life, how do we ask for help?
That's a really good question. And first of all, I want to acknowledge the fact that as Black men, as Black people, we are taught to be hyper independent. Okay. Like we're taught to
Mm.
figure it out as though like being on the grind, being on the hustle, being this self made person is
Oh,
like,
you a sucker if you ain't trying to do it yourself to me.
listen, okay. And so, but we're bred for community. We're born for community. And so the first thing that you need to do is I've always put it out there like publicly is transparency. I'm like, hey, here's what I'm trying to do. Is anybody interested? Okay. So like just assess the interest. It's like, because one of the things you never want to do is you don't want to be in partnership with somebody who's out of alignment with where you're trying to go. And so first thing you have to do is assess people like, where's your alignment? Are we going in the same direction? Do we have the same goals? We chasing the same dream? And so you put it out there. It's like, hey, here's where I'm trying to go. Anybody else want to go in this direction? But also too, relationships are really important, Rodney. So a lot of times we get together with people, we laugh, we joke, we hee, we kiki. Okay. But then when it starts talking about some real stuff, you need some people in your circle. Like Michelle Obama, she has her book out. She says you need some kitchen table folks, somebody you can sit at the kitchen table with and have some conversations that you can't have in the public spaces, that you can't have on social media. And so when you get them kitchen table people around you and be like, listen, we are invested in one another's lives, prosperity, success. We riding with you, and that's how you begin to cultivate that community. You have to be willing to build those relationships and admit, okay, put your guard down just a little bit and admit, I want companionship. I want friendship. I want people in my life that are going to surround me and help build me, just like I'm going to surround them and help build them. A lot of times we give too much of ourselves out and we don't ask for anything back. And that's because we did not set that expectation or that requirement up front that this got to be a mutual thing.
Wow, how about that? Dr. Shante, if you aren't following her, follow her, because Dr. Shante says.
Hey.
Yo, as we text this morning, man, I did want to unpack a couple of things, Doc. John Morant, we're seeing this young man, and we only got 3 minutes. We're gonna go to the top of the hour, and then we'll come back. But I'm looking at this young man, and usually in my mind, if a professional athlete has a father, he's got a better chance.
Yeah.
But this young man has a father, 2-parent home, and still waving a gun around, man. I mean, what's your thoughts?
So a couple of thoughts about Ja. This is just, you can just chalk it up to poor decision making, because I'm gonna be honest with you. What is he, 23?
Yes.
Okay. Let's look back at our 20s and the things that we did that we were not proud of when we were, in our 20s.
And the whole world wasn't looking.
And the whole world wasn't looking. You and I grew up in the era before social media, before there was about personal brands. So number one, he's just not at a level of maturity where he can, now he's like, okay, there's real consequences for my actions. This is happening on a public stage. But the other thing about that too is that, Rodney, we're driven by incentives. It's either a financial incentive, a social incentive, or a moral incentive. So the question for Ja is, bro, who are you trying to impress? What kind of clout you trying to build? What is it that within you that with all the success that you have, that you are still feeling enough of a void where you would put your career in jeopardy, put your teammates' careers and their games in jeopardy, put your family out there in the street? Like, who is it that you're trying to garner favor for that you would do something as foolish as waving a gun around in a nightclub and then go so far as to like, how it is to get on the gram? It ain't just getting on the gram and scrolling. You went live, brother. So that was poor decision making on his part. And, you can call it youthful indiscretion in your 20s, but he's going to learn.
Yeah. He going to learn whether he like it or not.
He going to learn today.
You going to learn today. Hey, y'all, it's Rodney Perry. You're tuning in to Rodney Perry Live. We're talking to Dr. Shante. What we're going to do when we come back, we're going to talk to Dr. Shante about Dr. Shante. I want to let's find out, where you come from. Is she the oldest? Is she the youngest? Let's find out. I bet money Dr. Shante is the oldest. I bet money. We don't say nothing. Don't give it away, Doc. All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. Rodney Perry Live. Oh yeah.
Get ready for America's #1 funny man. What? Hey. Make some noise. gentlemen, from LA to New York, Chicago to Mississippi, let's give it up for America's number one funny man, Rodney.
Back in full effect. My name is Rodney Perry. You're tuned in to Rodney Perry Live. We do this show every single day. If you're listening on a podcast platform, thank you for listening. If you're watching us, YouTube, Facebook, Media Room 360, however you're finding us, find us. We appreciate you. Dr. Shante.
Hey.
Born and raised Chicago? Question mark. That.
Born and raised in Chicago, south side of Chicago, Michael Reese Hospital, which doesn't even exist anymore.
I was about to say, I don't think that's still.
It's not, yeah, it's long gone. Grew up on 70th and Troop till I was about 11 or 12. And then after that, my mom took a job out of state. And so we kind of moved around a little bit and I made it back to the Chi right around 6th grade. Okay. And so I've been here ever since.
So you're a real Chicagoan. Like, I don't feel like I'm a real Chicagoan no more. Because I've lived everywhere. We leave my junior year of high school and never come back to live.
Oh, okay.
To live. So, siblings?
4 siblings. And you're right. I am
the
oldest. I am.
You're the oldest. There's no other reason for you to impart all this wisdom on the world.
Listen.
Unsolicited wisdom.
When you're the oldest, you are like the first one through the gauntlet, brother. Like, you learn some things. You learn things about your parents that your younger siblings will never find out about because you was the guinea pig. And so they was like, oh, let me figure it out on you. So I don't do that with them.
You know what? How crazy is that, man? That we were kind of unpacking birth order earlier today. And, I really like I think that's one of the things that create a void in some of our relationships, because if you're a number one, you either need to marry a number one or somebody posing as a number one. Like,
listen, because the expectations are different. The requirements are different.
Like my wife is a middle child, right? But she operates kind of like a number one because her number one never embraced the role. Mm-hmm. So she kind of moves like a one, but she don't want it because she's a middle child. Mm-hmm. She don't want the responsibility. And she don't understand why I have to do certain things because I'm a number one.
Because you're the number one. And the thing about it is that that's another one of those family dynamics where the middle child has really a bird's eye view of what's happening on both sides. It's like, okay, how's the baby being treated? What's the oldest doing? And they actually have like a little bit of luxury to figure out, how do I want to, play it? But when you see that the oldest is not stepping up and you see that there's a void to be filled, the middle child usually just wants everybody to be happy. They the Rodney King. They can't we all just get along? And so they just try to figure out, how can we make the crooked path straight versus the oldest. I talked about this at a video on TikTok where I talk about how sometimes the oldest child is what they call parentified, and all of a sudden you have these adult responsibilities thrust on you at a very young age. Watch your brother, watch your sister, cook them breakfast, make up the beds and things like that. And so you're being trained. Okay.
Yeah. You're almost an extra parent.
That's exactly what it is. And what tends to happen is as you grow older, it's hard for you to get out of that role. And sometimes it causes a rift between you and your parents because you're like, you know what? I didn't really have a childhood. I wasn't able to join the basketball team. I wasn't able to get on the cheerleading squad because I was picking up kids from daycare and I was the overnight babysitter. And, it can create some resentment and some grief because you never get that time back. And so, it's important to recognize in that birth order. It's also important to establish relationships, and parents need to be mindful. Don't put too much on your kids because they only kids for just that amount of time. And so if you make those decisions to have multiple children, hopefully you have also made the calculation to have the resources and infrastructure in place so that you're not burdening that child to be the extra parent.
How about that? Dr. Shante is in the building. Doc, why? Why are you Dr. Shante? Why did you become a doctor? Why did you do the work?
Ooh, why did I do the work? I had no other choice. So the thing is that in Black families in particular, I'll say my black family, but everybody I talk to that is in a black family, they're like, man, I've had a similar experience. Is that black families in particular kind of have like this code of secrecy, meaning certain information it just is not shared. Like there are black families in America right now that know things about other family members that just don't get talked about.
Absolutely.
That, like paternity, like who's the real father and things
Everybody know, but nobody talk about it.
There you go. Everybody knows, but nobody talks about it. And so if you can't talk about it inside the house, you certainly can't talk about it outside the house.
No kind of way. Don't tell them folks my business.
There it is. I don't want to be hearing about my business out in the streets. It's kind of like that Color Purple. You better not tell nobody but God. And so when you are growing up under that kind of silencing mechanism and you don't have a voice inside the house or outside the house, but you still feeling some kind of way about all the things that are happening, eventually your emotions that you're trying to suppress and stuff and act like everything is cool, they're going to come back and deal with you. And they came back and dealt with me. I was significantly overweight. I was addicted to food and alcohol. I was numbing my pain with all kinds of busy activities because I was running. I said, if I just keep myself busy enough, then I'll be able to outrun, the trauma. I'll be able to outrun the feelings, but it doesn't work like that. Trauma, that's the thing about trauma. You can heal trauma, but you can't erase trauma. And so the way that I grew up, and I got to a point where when I became a mother, instantly, I knew that I could not project all of the things that I had not resolved onto my child. I said, oh, we got to break this up. Wow. We got to disrupt this cycle. And the example I use all the time is, Ruby Bridges, she was, the first child, one of the first children to break the lines of desegregation. And, you look at that Norman Rockwell picture where they're throwing tomatoes at her and they're calling her names and things like that. But if Ruby Bridges had not taken that, if her parents had not had the courage, to go forth and say, no, our child deserves better, the rest of us would not have the opportunities that we have. And so sometimes you have to be the Ruby Bridges of your own life. Sometimes you have to be the Ruby Bridges in your family. And you have to say, it's going to stop with me. This cycle stops right here, and I'm going to be the one to go to therapy, and I'm going to be the one to read the books, and I'm going to be the one to have vulnerability and transparency, and I'm going to be the one to have healthier relationships. Because when you don't, basically you're walking around with all of these emotional toxins, okay? And then you want to try to be a fully present partner and healthy partner in a healthy relationship when you got this cancer that is metastasizing inside of your emotions. And then when you get triggered, then it pops off and you're wondering why you keep going into this vicious cycle of broken relationships and lack of confidence and all of those other things. And so I did the work because there was no other choice. I was not going to put my child through that same gauntlet. And because of what I have done, she's lived a much better life than I had.
Wow. Dr. Shante is giving it to us. Okay, Doc, here we go.
Okay, here we go.
What movie makes you cry?
Oh my goodness. What movie makes me cry?
Every time you watch it, it's gonna get you. You can't get through it. If you need to cry, you're gonna watch it.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, and I shouldn't even be shamed about this. So Pixar will do it to you. Okay, like the Pixar movies.
Not that movie with the balloons.
That every time. I remember I took my daughter to that movie. I'm thinking it's about to
take your ass out.
Man, I'm thinking it's about to be an afternoon matinee, some popcorn and laughs. 10 minutes into that movie, I was like, oh my God. I'm sitting up here dabbing my eyes, reaching for the napkins and the popcorn soaked. I'm like, good Lord, Pixar. And then one that Jamie Foxx did recently, Soul. That movie, man.
Soul was good.
Soul was good.
Soul kind of gave a great picture of what a great idea of what heaven might be. And like it made you think about, what am I really chasing? And why am I really chasing it? And the thing is, we spend so much time in our lives on the chase that we're not enjoying our lives. And so we get to the end and be like, dang, I miss my life chasing life. And so, that just kind of like put me on my heels. I was like, okay, let me stop and smell the roses. Let me take a step back and just really learn to appreciate life as it comes instead of chasing dreams and chasing things that may or may not be in alignment. And then the thing is, after he did all the chasing, he actually got it. He got it. And then realized, is this it?
And I tell people all the time, don't live in the when and thens, baby. Okay, like when I lose 20 pounds, I'll be happy. When I get a man, I'll be happy. When I get that big job or when I get that big check, then I'll be happy. Baby, you can be happy right now. Okay, that's a decision. That's a choice. It's an inside job. And as long as you're always outsourcing your happiness, what happens is you're going to reach that goal. And then when you get it, you're going to keep pushing the goalpost back because it's a vicious cycle.
I love it, Doc. For me, Coolie High.
Oh man,
Coolie High still takes me out.
It's so hard.
Don't do it, Doc.
To say goodbye.
Don't do it,
man. Cochise,
you ain't had to kill Cochise. He was going to Gremlin.
Man, listen,
here.
That's like Boys in the Hood, Ricky. It's like, why you have to take my brother out like that?
Come on, Stone and Robert, y'all ain't got it. All right,
You're right.
That takes me out, and I like movies where people overcome incredible odds, like sports movies. Rudy's a little regular white boy, out there with no skills. But when they Coach Rudy can have my jersey.
Man, when they say hard work beats talent, when talent don't work hard, you got to work hard.
Come on,
you got to work hard. It's a lot of people that are mad talented, and they think that's enough. That's not enough. You have to put in the work.
Dr. Shante is in the building now. You have the doctor that you worked really hard, but I feel like you would do this even if you didn't go to school and get the credentials. Am I right?
100%. So, like I said, my childhood, as they say, was no crystal stair. Okay, it wasn't a walk in the park. I've been through some things. It was violent. It was chaotic. It was uncertain. And the thing is that when people go through that and they don't reach a point of what I call radical acceptance is, you know what? I didn't deserve this. This shouldn't have happened. I deserve to live a whole, full, healthy life, but that wasn't my reality. And so since that did not happen, what I'm now going to do is be responsible for what happens next. Since I didn't have any agency in the hurting, I am going to have some agency in the healing. And so when you take that responsibility and then you have all of these perspectives and lessons learned, I said, I know I'm not the only one who has gone through some things. And for me, it gives my pain a purpose. And I know that that's not everybody's bag, but for me, it gives purpose. And one of the things that people tell me all the time is they were like, you get it. You get me. You spoke to me. You put some meat on the bone because you understand. Because I'm going to tell you something. People don't understand perfection. What is that? What even is that? But I tell you what people do understand. People understand pain like a mofo. Okay. It's like, if you can speak to my pain, then, and help me get some perspective, some clarity, some nuance, then, I'm a ride with you, sis. And so I'm in love. To your point, Rodney, I am so deeply in love. When people say, why do you do what you do? I'm in love with transformation, baby. I love a good before and after. It's like you said, this is where it started from the bottom. Now I'm here. Okay. I used to be an emotional thug. Here's the kicker. I used to, before I
just watched that video. I love the emotional thug.
I was thugging. I was like, feelings. Man, that was weak sauce. I'm like, try paying a bill with your feelings. I'm like, come on now.
The past is the past.
The past is the past. It is what it is. Can't do nothing about it now. And I'm just going to keep on pushing.
Isn't that true, Doc?
It is true. And the thing is that while you cannot change the past, you can certainly understand it differently. Case in point, my most popular podcast series on Whole and Complete Podcast is the series on mama trauma. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You talking about black folks can't talk about what's with the business. You dang sure can't talk about mamas in the black community.
What you gonna do is leave my mom.
There it is. What you gonna do is you gonna leave my mama name out of it. It's like, what you say about my mama. It's like, you're like, yeah, dude, but that's your mom's. But here is the thing, is that my mother had me at a young age. I think she was like 18, 19. And the thing is, so what do you know about raising kids at 18? You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of the things that she didn't know, a lot of the tools that she didn't have, I experienced the byproduct of that. But even though I can't change that, what I now understand is that my mother was a whole person before I came on the scene. what had she been through? What were her hardships?
What's her
What were her
trauma?
unresolved there you go. What were her unresolved traumas? And so what it helped me understand is that when you are unhealed and not whole and you are broken and you're trying to facilitate some sort of healthy dynamic for something else, baby, you can't give what you don't have. And so it helped me see more of her humanity rather than being resentful. My mama didn't this and my mama didn't that and my mama should have this and my mama should have that. It's not just my mama. My mama is a whole woman. Okay.
Mhm.
She's a whole
And my
person.
dad is a whole man,
And
because a
my
lot of
dad,
people walk around with daddy issues the same way.
man,
Wow.
I got a pink tambourine on my desk. Don't make me shake it for you, Rodney.
Give him the pink tambourine. Hey, yo, my name is Rodney Perry. You tuned in Rodney Perry Live. I'm talking to Dr. Shante. Hop, good, get your questions ready. We got a few more minutes with the doc, and I wanted to maximize the whole thing because I know you just got a wealth of wisdom and so many great things to share. We're gonna take a break. We come back more with Dr. Shante. I'm Rodney Perry. You tuned in to Rodney Perry Live.
What up, y'all? It's Michael Sean, and I know you want to be a podcaster. You want a successful podcast. You want to give your views and opinions, but you just don't know how to do it correctly. That's why you got to hit up ShawneeScott.com. You want to be on radio, and you want to know how to build your radio career. ShawneeScott.com. She's done all of this. I've worked alongside her for years, and I will tell you the information that she can give you is on a value level that I can't even put a price on it. All you have to do is go to ShawneeScott.com. Your future, right now. That's it. Michael Sean. Yeah.
My friend Shante Scott from Media Room 360, my partner in crime over here putting this show together. Dr. Shante.
Yes, sir.
Mental health is a hot button issue.
It is.
Everybody's talking about mental health. You went in on the great Kanye West, and you said, Rodney Perry, and everybody listen to my podcast, I'm here for the smoke.
I'm here for the smoke. I stand by what I said.
I said what I said, and then I said it. No, of course, Kanye is on record. He is medicated. He is an absolute genius, though.
He is.
He is like, I think the guy is crazy like a fox. I think the guy is way more in control than we even know.
He's excessively talented. He's a brilliant thinker. And yet he has some challenges, some unresolved issues and challenges. A lot of people kind of say, like, I like the old Kanye. What they're talking about is I like Kanye before his mom died.
Yeah.
Like that seemed to be like
that's his turning point.
There it is. Okay. It's like once he lost his mom, he didn't just lose a mother, like that was
he lost a confidant, he lost a friend. He lost a lot.
Somebody that was willing to hold him accountable, somebody that knew him since he had ashy knees and was like, look, boy, somebody that can pull your collar, tap you on the shoulder, not as a matter of control, but as a means of like, here is kind of like the line. Okay. And
here is the love.
Here's the love. Right. When you lose that kind of love in your life, it affects you in ways that are unbelievable. Because here's the thing, about Kanye West, I would even say Will Smith. Here's the big misconception. People feel like once you get the money,
it's over.
That's it. Like all the crooked paths are made straight. It's going to be rainbows and Skittles. But at the end of the day, these celebrities, these people that we revere at these high levels, at the end of the day, baby, they are still people. They are human beings. And Kanye has triggers just like Will Smith has triggers. And money does not resolve your triggers. It can distract you from them. Okay. It can give you some more time to play around. But unless you are doing some intentional work around those issues that you have not resolved, then they're going to come up in ways that can be hurtful to yourself and others.
Wow. You brought up Will Smith, but let's talk about the other guy in this situation. He just dropped his comedy special. My comedian cohorts either love it or hate it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if I'm an empath or what, but I felt like the man was, he said spoke volumes when he said, "Did it hurt? It still hurts."
It still
And
hurts.
when he says that, that's very real. Like the tear that he almost shed that he held back, to me speaks volumes to what Chris Rock is going through. What's your thoughts as you process it?
So first of all, I hate that it happened. I hate that it happened. Actually, this summer, I went to go see Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock. They were headlining at the O2 in London. Great show, by the way.
That's a funky fresh. That's a flex. That was very nice.
Man, that was
O2 in London.
the
What?
O2 in London. It was
What?
Ali Wong. It was Aziz Ansari. It was Earthquake. It was bananas. It was bananas. I'm not even gonna lie. And Dave spoke about it in his stand-up, just like Chris spoke about it in his, and both of them like, I hate that it happened. Something that Chris said on this weekend, he said, I loved Will Smith. He said, man, brand new funk. I follow his career. Like, I love that dude. And then, so it's one thing when your enemies and your haters throw dirt on your name, throw salt on your name, you get into an altercation, you be like, whatever. Because you expect that from them. But when it's somebody that you love, when it's somebody that you care about, when it's somebody that you look up to, that hurts on so many deeper levels. And you can tell he's still processing it. He's still resolving it.
He seems like he's worked his way to anger.
That's it. He's worked his way to anger because it's not just, here's the thing, when these things happen, people immediately go like straight to like the quickest emotion is always like outrage and then we start throwing our opinions. But when the smoke clears and the dust settles and all of that, there's a lot of grief in that. Okay. Like you are now mourning the loss of the relationship you thought you had, the respect that you thought you had, and then as Black people, one of the things, I work at a predominantly white college, and I tell them all the time, I said, being a Black person in a predominantly white environment, one of the things that we are conditioned to do is not to make white people uncomfortable. So it's like, and so people was like, well, Chris didn't react. It's like, listen, okay. He said, I have parents, and my parents taught me, you don't fight in front of white people, and so, and it would have been something that was not about them. Like the Oscars are not about Will Smith. The Oscars are not about Chris Rock. The Oscars are about the Oscars and the talent and everybody in the room that worked so hard to get there. And it was their first time, all of that. And so I appreciate that in that moment, Chris didn't make it about that. But I can also tell that as he's processing it and the humiliation that he experienced, that was so public. Okay.
Yeah.
That man is still hurting and Will is still hurting. And, I'm not going to pull the Rodney King and can't we all just get along, but I do believe that there is an opportunity for healing and for conversation. Okay, for conversation.
All right, Doc, stop right there. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it because you tiptoeing around it.
All right.
Can we blame Jada? Can we blame... I'm married, been married 26 years. My wife can shoot me a look from 100 feet away that will calm me down. Or she could turn me up. My wife can turn me up.
Yeah.
So I think Jada had an opportunity to turn him down and she didn't.
I don't disagree with you. She 100% had an opportunity because just like Will knows his wife, Jada knows her husband. And once she saw him getting up, because if that had been my husband, the minute I see you getting up, the minute I see you getting loud, I'm reaching over and I'm like, babe, not here. Not now. In that moment, Will Smith needed a Claire Huxtable because Claire Hanks Huxtable would have never, let Cliff pop off on that stage and do some craziness like that. He needed somebody like that. But because she did not do that, and it became the spectacle that it did, I do think that there was an opportunity, not blame, but did she have an opportunity where she could have intervened differently? 100%. 100%. And here's the key. You asked me about Ja earlier. Will Smith made a mistake. Ja Morant made a decision. Okay. Like Ja.
Will Smith is 50 years old. Ja Morant is 23.
Come on now. Okay. When you think about, I'm big on de-escalation. So a lot of times I'll run a situation back and I'm like, where was the moment where this could have taken an off ramp and gone in a completely different direction than where we landed? With Ja, First of all, when you walked in there with the gun, bruh, why you in the strip club with your shirt off, bruh? You know, why you
Man,
getting on Instagram, bruh? Why
come on,
you going live, bruh? Like there were so many, bruh. There were so many off ramps before you got to that ultimate place that it's like it's hard to, it's not that I don't understand, like I said, youthful indiscretion. We make piss poor decisions, when we're young, but it's also the piece where it's like, bruh, you had a lot of opportunity. And who was around you, Ja? What kind of friends you got that could have intervened and been like, bruh, you ain't about that life. Don't go there. Okay, you don't go there.
One of my friends has done security for John, and he was telling me that the guy is pretty together. He's a pretty together. He makes sure everybody is good when he's around. He don't leave nobody. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
But again, he's also susceptible to his friends. He's susceptible to the people that's on his payroll, for God's sake.
Come on now. And the thing is that the sad fact of being a Black person in America is that you don't always get the same leeway. You don't always get the same, oh, that's just boys being boys. You don't always get that. Okay. And the NBA has shown through many years, from Allen Iverson on down the line, that, they're trying to maintain a certain standard. Because the thing is, Ja, is that what I don't think he understood fully in that moment is that this not just about your personal brand. This ain't just about the Memphis Grizzlies personal brand. Bruh, you have aligned yourself, that's it, with the NBA. And they don't play with the house money. Okay. And so there's a standard.
They never do.
They never play with the house money. And so, you trying to you kind of reach beyond your pay grade in that respect. Now, Will has been very transparent about his struggles and things like that. And Will still struggles. Okay. But the thing is that in that moment, you could see the emotion, and logic had left the building. Reason had left the building, which is why I wish that the people at the table who did have logic, who did have reason, would have reached out and been like, not here, not now. But that didn't happen. And so his emotion led him to a place that, hurt two men, hurt the Black community. It hurts to see this all playing out in full view. And that's one thing I also have empathy for, Rodney, is that when you and I make mistakes, we in the booth, in the back, in the corner, in the dark, we can work our stuff out on the low. This ain't being worked out on the low. Everybody has an opinion about it, which also makes it harder to heal and get two people in the room and just have a conversation about what happened.
How about that? Hey, y'all, my name is Rodney Perry. You tune in to Rodney Perry Live. My co-host, Charles Hopgood. Charles, how are you? You muted, buddy. You muted.
I'm great. I'm enjoying
We're on with Dr. Shante. We're going to get ready to wind it down in a couple of minutes. You got any words?
No, she's touched on some pretty prickly things. A lot of times in our community, we don't like to talk about.
Did you say prickly?
Yes.
That was nice. That was a SAT word for sure. You never hear prickly in a sentence. Go ahead.
The thing that was daunting to me, and Doc, I'm with you being a healthcare professional, you probably saw it too. Chris Rock was hurt. You can see it on his face. He was hurt, and he still ain't put that to bed. He almost even cried at the end.
Well, maybe he just needed to cry. He could have watched Up. He could have. he could be watching Cooley High. He could have got to take a cry.
His upper lip might be having him teary-eyed. Anything, right?
but think about that schoolyard dynamic, right? So back in my day, in grade school, when it was going to be a fight at 3:00, man, you had people in your ear gassing you up. Hey, man, you gonna let him say that about your mama? Hey, man, you gonna let him talk about you like that? Human nature, they want the bloodlust. They want the bloodbath. There are more people that will film a fight than will try to break it up because they want to put it on World Star. They want to put it on live.
They want to tell everybody.
They want to be the one to tell everybody. Again, everybody's driven by some sort of incentive. And so some people are driven by those social incentives. So now take that schoolyard dynamic and magnify it by 10,000, because you got everybody in your ear, and you got podcasters, and you got YouTubers, and you got, basically the known world saying, what, you gonna take that? And you have to sift through all that and say, how am I feeling? Okay, like where am I at with this? And what is a reasonable solution or resolution that I can live with? And when you have so much noise in the background, it can make it harder to get to that place about how you really want to resolve this in a way that makes sense to you.
Love it. Dr. Shante, I can't thank you enough for coming on. I'd love to have you come back sometime as your schedule permits.
Absolutely.
And such a great conversation. How do people stay in touch?
So people can stay in touch with me at Dr. Shante Says on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You guys can listen to my podcast, Whole and Complete, where we talk about these things at length and unpack these mental health issues and issues of community. And I would love to have you guys with me.
Hey, sign me up. I am all the way in. I went down the Dr. Shante rabbit hole. Let me tell you something. You start watching these videos, you prepare for like 2 hours. You're going to be up in there. You're going to be
brother.
all the way up in there. Thank you so much, Doc, for coming on today.
I appreciate you. Have a great day.
I says, yo, Dr. Shante came through, didn't she? How good?
Yeah, it was really insightful. Well thought. I love an educated sister.
Indeed. Hop good, man. You came on today. Hollywood Hop is in the building. 06. How do people stay in touch, bro?
Hollywood Hop _06 on Instagram. Charles L. Hopgood on Facebook. I certainly appreciate you having me. We appreciate everyone that came in and listened to them. We hope that the content perpetuated
I don't know what
that perpetuate the time on things that you need to hear in your life.
I'm gonna call you offline, Hopgood. I feel like you need a hug. I feel like you need all right.
Everybody hurts.
Get your ass in here, dog. Anyway, Jeff Brown says Dr. Shante ain't hard on the eyes either. Shouts out to David Ford. David Ford Eyewear, one of our newest sponsors. We're working out the whole sponsorship package, but we're gonna be giving away some David Ford shades real soon. If you haven't seen them, go to dfeyewear.com, I believe. I'll find it out. And for popping in today, guys, what a great show! What a great show, Dr. Shante. Let me tell you something. There's stuff out there on the internet. Everything ain't bad. My name is Rodney Perry. You're tuned in to Rodney Perry Live. We do this every day. Tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
Tonight, 8 p.m., the live improv show goes down on my YouTube page. 8 p.m. If you're here right now, come in tonight, 8 p.m., and watch my class, man, as they finish 5 weeks of online education from the great Rodney Perry. All right, that's our show for today. Until we meet again, my name is Rodney Perry, and we are out.
Get ready for America's #1 funny man. What?